Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is our first round in about 4 weeks. I did have a short holiday over Christmas. Then not long after getting back from my holiday, I did get COVID and it got me good. So I've been lacking energy. So today I'm just trying to hope to get through 9 holes. I'm not really expecting much with the score. We start off with the short dogleg right par 5. Our first tee shot's a bit of a shocker. We hook it over to the left trees. Luckily it gets through and leaves us an okay shot for our second. We don't have a chance of getting to the green here, so we take a pitching wedge, just try and get it over the trees, back onto the fairway, but leave it short of the fairway bunker. Play a nice iron shot and puts us in a good position. And it's at this point that I realise my rangefinder is out of battery, so we're just going to guess the yardages today. I feel I've got about 70 metres here, so I go with a lob wedge. I hit a decent shot, maybe my yardages were a little bit out, lands on the green, but then just rolls back off the front of the green. We take the putter and leave it well short. I'm not actually expecting too much on the green or around the greens today, as I haven't played in a while. Then we have the 20 footer online, but it just lips out and we tap in for bogey. Now onto the second hole, a par 4. With the driver, we're going to aim it a little bit further down the right, considering we hooked our first tee shot. We get this one flush, even with a little bit of draw, which is a rarity for us. The ground is really dry at the moment, and the ball just rolls and rolls. This is the furthest I've ever hit it on this hole. Without the rangefinder again, we're guessing we're about 45 to 50 metres away here, so we go with the lob wedge. We get a decent shot away. It's a little bit right of our target, but we're on the green, putting for birdie. And from just over 30 feet away, we put a nice roll on this one. Leave ourselves a short putt for par. And I don't know what I did with that, so we'll take a bogey. Never sure what to take off the tee on this hole. Just pretty hard landing area with OB on the right and the lake on the left. For today, I just go with a 7 iron and be safe. We put a nice swing on this one and put it in the fairway. That's the 150 marker just in front of us, probably about 5 or 10 metres, so we're guessing about 155 to 160 away from the centre of the green, so we'll take a 7 iron. We hit this one really flush, but it does go a little bit left, and it comes up short, which was a bit of a surprise to me. The bunker's not really in our line here, but we are below the green, so we'll take a lob wedge. Really happy with that chip, which leaves us about 5 foot to save par. We hit a nice putt and get our first par of the day. There was a group in front of me on the 4th and they were playing quite slow, so I skipped that one for now and we moved on to our 5th hole. We'll come back to the 4th later. We think we had about 125 metres to the pin, so we take the pitching wedge. We leave this shot a little short, so we take the pitching wedge from just off the green. When we do have a bit of green to work with and it's pretty flat, I am trying to take the pitching wedge more often than normal. Normally I'll go with a lob wedge, but I know it's safer to get the ball on the ground as quick as possible. And we hit a pretty good one with the pitching wedge. We have a shot at par. We pull the 10 footer to the left and tap in for bogey. Now onto another par 3, which I think is about 105 metres. 100 metres is probably our maximum sand wedge, but if I play a pitching wedge, normally I'm too far and there is trouble down the back, so we're going to try and play a hard sand wedge. And we come up a little short, but still leave ourselves in an okay spot. We putt from off the green, and it's an okay result. Then we leave the uphill putt short and tap in for bogey. Now on to our second par 5 of the day. Pretty straight, but long one. We play another drive which we hook, and we also sky this one a little bit, so it doesn't really go too far. We find ourselves in a pretty average spot, but we're going to try and take a 4 iron, play it under the tree, but play it up the 8th fairway and see if we can knock it back across for our next shot. We get it under the tree but slice it a little bit more than we would have liked, so we are in the fairway but we're not in an ideal spot. I thought we had about 140 to go here to the green. Didn't really have a shot at the green, so I took an 8-iron, just trying to get it over the tree and leave it just short. It clips the tree and comes up well short. It bounces on the fairway just before the green, then rolls back into the hazard, so we'll take a drop. We think we've got about 40 metres to go, so we take the lob wedge. And we hit our best shot of the day, and I actually thought it was going in, but we just missed, and we have a short putt for bogey. Now on to the 8th hole, which is actually our 7th hole of the day. It's a pretty straightforward par 4. And we absolutely cream a drive down the left side of the fairway. And with the ground being so dry, the ball just kept running and running, and again, this is the furthest I've ever hit it on this hole. I was looking for my ball for a while and couldn't find it anywhere. I made my way up to the green, and it was just sitting off the left side of the green. Really happy with that drive. We don't have heaps of green to work with, and the green is running away from us, so we're just trying to land it a foot or two on the green and let it feed down to the hole. We hit it a little left of our target, but still a nice shot. And we make the 6-footer for birdie. On to the 9th hole, which is our second last hole for the day. It's probably playing about 110 metres. We hit a solid shot, but it just starts a little bit left and doesn't fade back, so we're just off the green. The camera doesn't show it too well, but it is quite downhill to the pin, so we're pretty careful with this one. A little too careful. We gently tap our next one down there and take the bogey. We drove back to the 4th hole to play our last hole of the day, the short par 4. I always take a 5-iron off the tee here just to make sure it comes up short of the water hazard. And as mentioned before, it is really dry, so we probably should have taken a 6-iron, but luckily it's just come up short of the water hazard. We think we got about 65 metres to go. We hit a really nice shot with a lob wedge, which leaves us a putt for birdie. And we leave it short and tap in for par. It's not going to go down as one of my best scores, but considering I haven't played in 4 weeks, I'm just happy to get around 9 holes, and I felt like I hit the ball okay. It's time to get working again. And for those who have made it this far, if you could subscribe, leave a like, drop a comment, I'd really appreciate it, and thanks for watching.